Anderson, and then we'll take questions.
I am so proud of this team all the way through, from Jordan Weber and our pitching staff. What they've done, what they've accomplished this weekend is, I've never been a part of anything like that. I mean, to give up 2 hits all weekend long in 3 unbelievable regional games. Iowa State is a great team. They've had an unbelievable season. Jamie Pinkerton's done a great job with that program. I mean, just all the way through, some of those defensive plays that we made to save the no-hitter, clutch hitting. And I think one of the highlights is Brooke Wilmus's home run. You think about it's just another home run, but 5 puts the grand slam out of reach of tying the ball game. So, I mean, just all the way, just great team effort. So proud of my coaching staff and really what we've accomplished here. But again, we're not done yet.
Natalie Jones.
Can you tell me how it feels? It feels like you guys are just kind of going down the list, checking things off, hosting a regional, now going to the Supers. Just kind of tell me what the reaction was like in the locker room and obviously on the field after that.
I mean, it's like you said, it's like, okay, on to the next thing. They have bought in from day one, and these seniors have left their legacy. And we have the regional awards, the years that we participated in regionals and super regionals up on the outfield wall. And these upperclassmen have left their legacy and left their mark. And now they have 2 years that are up on the wall for regionals and super regionals. And again, we're not done yet. Like, our goal is to get to the College World Series, and we're going to focus on James Madison coming up. But again, they've just bought into this program and the process and what we're trying to accomplish. And I can just tell you that I'm just so proud of them.
Colin O'Brien.
Yeah, Larissa, it was kind of the bats more so that got you to this point in the season and to hosting a region. Obviously, the pitching played a part, but for freshmen to put it together like they have to start this NCAA tournament, I mean, what can you say about that? And then can you point to anything for them making it click? Is it just answering the pressure of the moment?
It's growth. They're inexperienced, but they've learned through every single process throughout the entire season. And again, we haven't expected one person to really carry us, even though we've had 3 complete games in 3 games, which we probably haven't done all year. But they've just learned at every single outing from each other. They've worked together in the bullpen. But I think what's taken us to the next level is the intellect in how to throw a game and how to get batters out and reading swings and really trusting Hattie back there and the information that she's giving them, and then trusting the entire process and the preparation.
Eric Blum.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit about it there, but just to have Jordan throw a 1-hitter on Friday and then come back and just have it today. I mean, just what did you say to her in between or leading up to this game? And now that she's thrown another no-hitter or excuse me, this no-hitter, what are your thoughts now?
I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, that just shows you how much gut she has and determination and just the will to do it for her team. And she was on fumes, and she was still getting batters out and hitting great locations. But what really separates Jordan is again, it's the intellect. It's the ability, and she probably doesn't know this, but she's able to read hitters' hands and their swing and knows exactly where to place the ball. So then they can't square it up. That's something that I don't teach. It's what she has. It's what she's naturally given. And she's just, thankfully she's on our team, but I'm just so proud to see what she's done over the course of her career here. And again, she's only a freshman.
Bennett Durando.
Larissa, you mentioned some of those defensive plays. What was sort of your vantage point watching those, especially when it's sort of a no-hitter on the line? Abby had one and Jenna. And then I also wanted to ask about the obstruction call at first. Was there a little bit of a collective holding of breath while waiting for the ruling on that?
Oh, yeah, because that took about 2 outs for it to come up on the scoreboard. We talked about it yesterday with Krings throwing a no-hitter into the 7th, is when a pitcher is throwing a no-hitter and you got something special going on, and it's very rare that this happens in your lifetime. And for it to happen 3 times over 3 days, just educate them on, we're bringing the outfield down. We're not going to get beat with a little bloop over the infielder's head. If they're gonna have a hit, let's have them square it up. So we were really choking down the outfield a lot to take away a lot of those bloops. And just that you're just playing everything full speed and you're laying out for every possible play. And Jenna making that ball in the 5-6 hole, Abby George laying out for the ball. I mean, you're doing it to be a part of something that's really special, and to do it in a regional final is, very rare.
Anthony Christensen.
Coach, obviously you guys were picked to finish 8th in the SEC at the beginning of the season. What's it mean to you and to your team to kind of prove the doubters wrong?
I mean, we've been doing that since I got here. I mean, first year we picked to finish last, and I was like, okay, fine, we're not going to finish last. They know we're not. I like being the underdog. You know, it's good because then we can just go out and no one's expecting us to win other than ourselves. And we only worry about Mizzou softball and we know what we're capable of. We really don't care what the critics say.
Ben Arnett,
Larissa, I joked with you on Friday about you never ask a pitcher to go out and throw a no-hitter, obviously. But you could tell as we went through the weekend, this was something that your team really wanted. And what does it do for a team when they want something this badly and then you finish it off today and they get that?
They do. They want it so bad. They want it for our community and our fans and our donors and for each other. I mean, they have gone through so much. Like you look back to our senior class and Kayla Kessinger in particular, and she's been here 5 years and what she has had to endure and go through in terms of adversity. And now they're playing the game that they love without any restrictions or the black cloud over their head. And they just want to go out and show everybody that they deserve to be at the top. And they just continue to prove that every single day. I could ask them to do anything and they're going to do it. And vice versa. I would do absolutely anything for them because they've bought in to what is needed. They bought into the culture. They bought into the program. They bought into the work ethic, you know, and they get rewarded for things like this.
Andrew Harrington, Andrew,
Is it okay? Sorry, I thought you said Andrew Harrington. I'm not sure who that is, but I know who I am. Coach, Iowa State's head coach during the middle of the game mentioned the crowd and how that had impacted him so far throughout the game. I'm sure it looked like it affected him most of the game. They never played in front of a crowd like that. How much of an impact did the fans have on your guys' success this weekend as a whole?
It adds to the energy. I mean, when you hear that MIZ chant throughout the entire stadium and to know that your fans are behind you, it gives you an added push. Like it's tough. And if you think about these teams have played in front of 20% capacity all season long, and then all of a sudden you come to a regional, there's over 2,000 people in your face cheering for one side, like that's tough to overcome. You know, and I'm so thankful for that. They were here and we're able to play at home. And that's why hosting is so important because you get that added edge and you get that extra that you need sometimes when you're tired and your back's up against the wall and your fans kind of will you and you want to do it for them.
Colin O'Brien,
Coach, you said earlier this week that you probably weren't going to be bunting, but you had been working on some of the short game stuff to push some runs across in the middle innings and put pressure on this defense or Iowa State using that short game. What did that do for this team?
I mean, it just manufactured those runs. And I think we didn't have to really sacrifice, but those stolen bases. I mean, Hannah McGivern coming in as a pinch runner and she literally stole a run for us. You know, stealing second base and then tagging on that foul ball and then scoring on Abby George's little bunt in front of home plate. I mean, that's what this team is capable of. And the depth that we have and being able to pull off people off the bench that can come in and help contribute to these victories.
Natalie Jones,
You know, 2 hits this entire regional. What kind of statement do you think that sends to teams as you move forward?
I mean, people have always said we've been an offensive team, offense and our defense, and they really haven't talked about our pitching at all. And I would just think that people are going to open up their eyes and say, wow, okay, Mizzou's got some pitching. They performed really well in this regional. But at the same time, we know you're only as good as your next day starter. I mean, that's really where your success is. And we were real fortunate to get 3 great outings by our pitching staff.
Bennett Durando,
Yeah, you mentioned yesterday that it would be matchup based who you were going to go with for the start. And I'm curious, when did you know that it would be Jordan? And was there any sort of conversation? When did you sort of tell her and what was her sort of anticipation for this start?
So Jordan's been our Friday night starter all season long. So she's been our go-to. She's been so consistent all year. And she's the type of pitcher that when she starts to fatigue out, then I know I need to make a change. And she's typically, I mean, she's come in for relief for us, but she's a starter. So the performance that she had on Friday and then with Krings throwing yesterday, I was going to give her a shot and ride her as long as we possibly could until they started to hit her hard. And when she's going into the 5th and 6th inning and no one squared up a ball yet, I want her to be able to finish it. Obviously, when you have a no-hitter going, but it's just, does she have enough in her to be able to finish this game? And obviously she did. Krings was ready to go. She was ready to go from the beginning part of the game because, again, I don't know how deep Jordan can go. And then we had Schumacher and Emma Nichols, obviously, in the wing, who haven't thrown it all this weekend. So we had a really deep bullpen that was able to call if we needed anybody at any time.
Eric Blum,
Larissa, I know you want to enjoy this victory at least for a little while, but you're no stranger to James Madison. To have it be a CAA school that stands between your new team and the College World Series, what does that mean to you? And do you have any early thoughts on this Dukes team?
I mean, I know James Madison really well. Played a lot of championships with them, have a lot of respect for their coaching staff and what they've done there. As soon as the bracket went up and I saw that James Madison was in the bracket that we'd be playing for in super regionals, I was like, of course, and two of my assistant coaches played at Hofstra or came from Hofstra. And then we have some players on our team like Kim Wirt. And it was like, of course, we're going to see James Madison in super regionals. That's the softball gods always have that figured out. But, it's going to be a great team. We're going to have to prepare really well. They have an unbelievable offense and a really, really deep pitching staff. We played them 2 years ago in Florida and they beat us. So we know we're going to have to prepare and they're going to come out fighting.
Anthony Christensen,
Coach, can you kind of take us through the atmosphere in the dugout as during that last at bat, and then obviously whenever the last swing and a miss came over the plate, what was that like?
I mean, you can just hear they're just going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And when you have those foul balls and foul balls and foul balls, and I'm talking to Gabby Dieters, who's right next to me, and we just keep working away. And I'm going, I'm not going in, just put it in play. You can feel how much everybody wants it. They want it for Jordan. They want it to win the regional. They want it for each other. I mean, the no-hitter is just obviously icing on a cake or the exclamation point at the end of the statement. But they just wanted it so bad for each other to be able to enjoy that moment.
last question from Colin O'Brien.
Coach, you like being the underdog, but you're going to probably be the favorite next weekend here at home. How do you use that? How does the message shift for next weekend now that that's how things are shaking out?
It doesn't matter what the polls say. It doesn't matter what the seeding is. All that matters is how we feel about each other. So the polls might have had us 8th. We know where we belong. It doesn't change the pressure because everything comes from within ourselves, and we don't worry about it's James Madison. We worry about what Mizzou softball is going to do and what we need to do in order to be successful.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.